Now we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about an audio program called Soundbooth, which is now included as part of the Production Premium Studio. Now, the audio editing program that used to be included with the Production Studio was called Audition. I love Audition. I actually prefer Audition to Soundbooth, truth be told. Audition is a very full-featured audio editing application, but I have an audio background. A lot of people complained that Audition was too powerful, that for people that didn't know that much about audio, they wanted to just jump in there and maybe do a quick fade in, fade out, that type of thing. It was just too complicated. It was overkill. So I guess enough people complained about it that Adobe decided to take out Audition and include an audio program that was much easier and much more suited to the needs of video editors, and that is Soundbooth. Now, I have an audio clip here that I've imported called Wedge Case Rough Cut. You'll find this in the Chapter 19 folder, just another clip of my band that I'm in with my brother Todd Perkins here. This clip, though, is a little bit different. This one's a little bit rough. We never really mastered this one from the studio, so it's a little bit rough around the edges. So we'll have a little bit more room to play with this as we take this into Soundbooth for editing. So I'm going to go to the Edit menu here. And notice that we have two choices. We can edit this in Audition or edit it in Soundbooth. You should probably be advised that at the time of this recording, Audition is still supported by Adobe, but it's for PC only. So I'm going to click Edit in Soundbooth. And instantly, this clip is brought into Soundbooth for editing. Now, if I click the space bar, just like I do in After Effects to play a clip, then this audio will play. And I could see the waveform here much more detailed and much more precise than I do in After Effects. I can tell again by the size of this waveform here that this is a quieter part of the song. As I drag it out here, and I hit the space bar, drums are doing a little bit more. As you can tell, if I were to bring it here, there's more going on here, and it gets even louder in this section over here. And again, Soundbooth is unbelievably simple and easy to use. I can click this button here on the left-hand side, and this basically will just make an automatic fade-in. You can see the difference that it made in the signal here. The waveform changed so much just by clicking that button. If I wanted to fade this clip out, I just click the button on the right-hand side to fade this out. I can click this button on the right-hand side to make this louder or quieter. We can also use Soundbooth to remove a sound, which we're not going to go into here, but it's unbelievably powerful. If you have a blemish, like a pop, crack, hiss, that type of thing, it will show up here in this Predator-like view, and you can clean it up very quickly and easily using visual tools, the same ones we have in Photoshop. We could also add effects. I'm going to click on the Stereo Rack preset, drop down here. Let's click on Reverb Small Room. Now as I hit the home key, again, just like in After Effects, hit the spacebar to preview, we'll hear the fade and this reverb effect. Much nicer sound than before. There's a whole host of effects that ship with Soundbooth that we can add. And again, just like Encore, we're seeing a lot of similarities here. We can move the workspace around, just like we do in Encore and After Effects. There's workspaces in this drop-down here in the interface, just like in Encore and After Effects. There's panels, frames, we can move them around, etc., etc. So that's pretty much all we're going to cover with Soundbooth, but be aware that my buddy Bruce Williams, who's a great friend of mine from Australia, has put out Soundbooth CS3 Essential Training from lynda.com. So be sure and check that out if you're interested in professional audio editing in the Production Premium Studio. Now, before we leave this chapter on integration, we're going to talk about integration with After Effects and Adobe Flash. And we'll get to that in the next segment.